Hello everyone, good morning. I hope you all are doing fine. You all are safe and sound at home and you are not getting too bored. Okay? So today we are going to learn something in science, something which is very important, something which we see daily in our lives and we don't quite pay much attention to that. That something is the two types of changes which are happening always around us. Physical changes and chemical changes. Let's see some examples and then I'll explain what are those two changes, and after that there will be some assignments for you all. Okay, let's go. Okay, so do you see what's happening here? This is something which I used at homes and sometimes in different temples and all, and it's called dhoop, and what's happening is that it's burning away. We can obviously see the smoke here, and this ash is, if we just dust it off, it will fall off. Okay, see, only so much of it is left. See, I'll get closer. It's burning from inside and only so much of it is left. I'll show you the actual one, how it looked. Okay. Here you go. This is how the actual thing looked before I burnt it or lit it up. See? What about when I do this? I've got some milk here and I just want to make it frothy. See? The plain liquid milk which had no bubbles or froth, now because of this hand beater is getting all nice and frothy. What do you think? What kind of change is this? Is it changing the taste of the milk or the color of the milk? Is it changing the texture of the milk? Yes, it is changing the texture. So what kind of a change is this? Let's see how the milk looks now. See how nice and frothy it is? Now what about if in the same milk I add some coffee and sugar, something which we have almost every morning, right? So here's my milk, my frothy milk, and I'm going to add this coffee and sugar. Let's see what changes happens now. Okay, our froth is still there, but the then white milk has become somewhat coffee color, right? Something which we know just how coffee looks like. And what about the taste? Let's see, let me taste it. It's that nice bitter and sweet coffee, just the way I like it. So now that you saw some examples, let us revise and make a proper definition of those two types of changes. Okay? Physical changes. So what are physical changes? Is melting of ice a type of physical change? Maybe it is. Yes, it is. Physical changes are those type of changes where there are no modifications or there are no changes in the internal structure but the physical traits like the texture or the state of matter from solid to liquid, those kind of changes are happening. Like in the case of ice, it's changing from solid to liquid because of some temperature changes, and we can see the changes clearly. Okay, so physical changes are happening all around us, and here are some examples, some common examples of physical changes. Very good. Now let's move on to what actually chemical changes are. Burning of wood, burning of candle, then making curd. Maybe you've seen someone at your home making some paneer from milk. Are those types of changes chemical changes? Yes, indeed. In case of chemical changes, internal structural changes also happen, and those kind of changes are usually irreversible. What is the meaning of irreversible? You cannot change it back to its original form. Like when paneer is made from milk, from liquid stage it goes to the solid stage. But in this case, paneer cannot be reverted back to become milk. In whichever way we try, we cannot just go try and melt it and get it back to becoming milk, liquid milk. Okay. Now burning of candle. In the case of burning of candle, there are two types of changes which are happening. First, the wax is melting. That's a physical change. From solid, it is becoming a liquid form. But the burning part, okay, the combustion part, that is the chemical change. We cannot get back that much of the candle after it's burnt out. Okay. Now, these are your assignments that you have to do. First thing is, you have to create two separate Freyer's models for physical changes and chemical changes, and in your examples you have to use those kind of examples which you actually see around your house. Okay, you don't have to use any other ways to get those examples. Just observe what is happening around you and you'll get those examples. The second part is you have to fill out this assignment questions. Okay, take care.